Welcome to the Best of GMAT Critical Reasoning. Now today we are going to solve yet another assumption question. So dear students, before we begin, I would request you to pause this video and give this question a try. Once done, let's get back to solving this in the strategic process we have already learned. Alright, so I hope you have given this question a try. Now let's look at how do we approach this question. The very first step is we read the question stem to identify what is the question type. Which of the following is an assumption of the economist's argument? Alright, so clearly this is an assumption question, which means we need to identify what is that unstated premise which will connect the given premises with the given conclusion of the paragraph. Alright, so step 1 is done. Step number 2, we X-ray the paragraph, we X-ray the argument to identify what are the premises and what is the conclusion. So let's read the paragraph. The most economically efficient way to reduce emissions of air pollutants is to tax them in proportion to the damage they are likely to cause. Okay, so economist thinks that the most efficient, economically best way to reduce air pollutants would be to tax them in proportion of the damage they cause. Alright, so whatever the damage or the exact amount of damage is, accordingly they should be taxed or they should be regulated. Okay, that's what is the best process as per the economist. But, okay, so something is off, something is contradictory here. Let's read along. But in country Y, many serious pollutants are untaxed and unregulated, and policymakers strongly oppose new taxes. Okay, so best way to control air pollutant emissions would be to tax them in proportion. But then economists is saying that you see in country Y, policymakers are also opposing such taxes, and hence many pollutants are untaxed, unregulated. So the best solution which we were thinking possibly is not feasible at this moment. Alright. Therefore, now therefore is clearly an indicator of conclusion. So let's see what is the conclusion therefore, since the best way to tax would not be possible, then what is the better way? What is the best way now? The best way to achieve a reduction in air pollutant emission in country Y would be to institute fixed upper limits on them. Okay. So, the conclusion says the best way to control this problem of air pollutant emission would be to set an upper limit, that this is the upper limit. Beyond this, you should not produce any pollutant emissions. That's what is the economist trying to say. Now, if you notice closely, you would understand that this argument, the X-ray of the argument, once we did the X-ray, we realized that this argument is a typical example of a planned style of argument. Now, usually for planned style of argument, they talk about a problem. Like in our case, there's a problem of air pollutants, emission of air pollutants, that is the problem at hand. They will also talk about a goal they want to achieve. So, what is the goal they want to achieve? And remember, goals are explicitly stated in the paragraph. To achieve a reduction in air pollutant emissions in country Y, that's your goal. So, the goal is to reduce the air pollutant emissions. The problem is, yes, of course, air pollutant emissions are too high, and of course, we cannot tax them. Taxing is not possible, that is a problem, and hence, because we want to achieve this goal to reduce the air pollutant emission, what is the plan of action that the economist is suggesting? He is suggesting to institute fix upper limits on the air pollutants. Okay, there has to be some limits, some restricted amount set, a mandate should come that this is the amount of upper limit. Beyond this, you cannot produce any kind of extra emissions or pollutants. All right, now we have the problem at hand, the goal at hand, and the plan of action. Plan of action is typically what our conclusion would be, and here are your premises. Okay, so now that we have done an X-ray and we see that this paragraph typically is an example of a planned style of argument, remember, I'll give you a hack here. For any planned style of argument, what would the ideal assumption be? Now, a very basic assumption and a very necessary assumption for any plan is that the plan will work, or the target audience should accept the plan, right? The plan should achieve the goal. The plan will achieve the goal. Whenever we think of a plan and we say, okay, let's do this to get that. Let's do X to get Y. Why do we say that? Because somewhere we are assuming that, yes, the plan will achieve the goal, right? So, our shadow answer or the logical gap here is that any option that highlights that this plan will lead you to the goal of reducing air pollutants or reduction will happen, then ideally that should be considered as a good option because it technically highlights something positive about the plan and enables the plan to achieve its goal. Okay, so that should be our step 3, identifying the logical gap or trying to highlight what is the shadow answer. So now let's look at the next step. So now we have the X-ray in front of us. Remember, this X-ray is very crucial. Keep this as a mental note, or initially during your initial phase of practicing GMAT questions, you can even make small written notes like this. And now that you have this in front of you, without going back and forth into the paragraph and reading it all over again, keep this in a nutshell with you, the X-ray. And now let's move on to option elimination. All right, step 4, eliminating the options. Let's read one by one each of the options and see if they really enable my plan to achieve the goal or not. Option A says, policymakers in country Y oppose new taxes equally strongly regardless of any benefits they may provide. Okay, so what does option A talk about? Option A talks about that policymakers oppose all new taxes regardless of any benefit they may provide. So whenever there is any new tax recommendation in country Y, policymakers start opposing them. Okay, now this corresponds to any tax, any random tax, they start opposing. So there's a lot of opposition. Fair enough. But does it really talk about my plan? Does it really tell me that this conclusion will be possible based on the given plan? This goal will be achieved based on the given plan? No, it doesn't even highlight whether setting up upper limits will enable reduction of air pollution or not. It typically doesn't even talk about the conclusion. It's not even part of the story of my X-ray, right? Do you see that? Okay, so we can eliminate option A. Option B, country-wise air pollutant emissions would not fall significantly, would not fall. Okay, take care of the negatives. Negatives have to be interpreted correctly. Okay, so country-wise air pollutant emissions would not fall significantly if they were taxed in proportion to the damage they are likely to cause. Okay, so if they were taxed, now honestly, tell me dear students, is this something that my plan of action according to the economist was? My X-ray tells me that the plan of action is to fix upper limits, not to tax, because eventually in one of the statements, the economist has clearly mentioned that fixing taxes in proportion is not really a feasible choice because policymakers oppose it. They don't allow it. And mostly these are untaxed, unregulated. So if they are taxed, even if they will not fall significantly, this doesn't help in my plan to achieve the goal. Okay, it doesn't connect my plan of action to the feasibility of the goal. Again, my conclusion does not depend on this. Out of the story. What about C? Policymakers in country Y strongly favor reduction in air pollutant emissions. Okay, now tell me, will favoring alone help? I want to achieve something, but if I don't do something for achieving it, will I really get the results? No, right? Similarly, even if policymakers favor reductions, but will the plan, adopting the plan, really help in reducing? Again, it doesn't talk about the fixed upper limits. Clearly eliminated. Now let's look at option D. Country-wise policymakers believe that air pollutant emissions should be reduced with maximum economic efficiency. Fair enough. Their policymakers think high. They're saying that they believe air pollutant emissions should be reduced with maximum economic efficiency. But again, does it really tell me adopting the plan of fixing upper limits, will it achieve the goal of reducing pollution? Does it really connect the plan of action with the goal? No. Again, it does not, right? So that also can be eliminated, right? Understand the logic of each option and keep eliminating. Finally, option E. Ideally, my correct answer has to align with the conclusion. It should be something that my conclusion depends on, and it should be something that is necessary for my plan of action to achieve the goal. All right, let's look at it. Policymakers in country Y do not oppose setting fixed upper limits on air pollutant emissions as strongly as they oppose new taxes. All right, now policymakers do not oppose setting fixed upper limits. Now see, the plan of action is about fixing upper limits, and policymakers are okay with that plan of action, which means ideally the adoption of the plan becomes easy. Plan is easy to implement. So plan has a possibility, has a feasibility of achieving the goal, because there's no problem, nobody is going to oppose this. Okay, so it's close to saying that the target audience will accept the plan, or at least we can say that the plan is easy to implement. So only E is there as an option, which seems to be the best out of them all, which is necessary for the conclusion, right? Okay, now let's look at the negation test. Let's negate option E and check if upon negating E, my conclusion gets negated or not. Policymakers in country Y do oppose, okay, do oppose. I'm negating option E. So option E, the negated version of option E says that the policymakers oppose setting fixed upper limits as strongly as they oppose new taxes. Now see, they were opposing the new taxes, and hence the taxes were never, really taken into the picture, or all the pollutants went untaxed, which means it never became fruitful. Similarly, if they oppose fixing upper limits, the plan of action will never be fruitful because it will not get a chance also, right? So, option E upon negation simply terminates the possibility of the conclusion. Conclusion gets falsified. Hence, my correct answer has to be option E. I hope you understood the question, and now I have a bonus question for you. This is what you can try at home. Practice this question as a homework. Again, this is also an assumption question. And if you have any questions, any doubts, please let us know in the comment section. Also, if you want to know the answer and the explanation of this homework question, write it down in the chat box, in the comment box, and we'll see you soon with yet another video. Till then, take care. Have a good time.